Alright, and welcome back to another Age of Empires free-for-all match. I will going to go over the teams like I normally do. And then I also want to let everyone know we do have a little bit something extra planned for this game. I'll pop it on the screen here for a moment. I will be grading everyone based off of their economy, their military, and their spice. You might be wondering, what does spice mean? Well, spice is something that you know it when you see it. So that is something that we will be going over at the end. So stick around and kind of keep that in the back of your mind as you're watching the video. Okay. We'll do a quick overview of every person and which civilization they are. I will start with the best player, Father Christmas. That is myself. I am in purple. And in this game, I am playing as the Byzantines. Next up, we have yellow, which is Iceberg. He is playing as the Aztecs. And you can see he's got a lot of water on his base. There is water between both of ours here. Sadly, no relic in my corner spot, though that might be pretty cool. And then we have green here, which is Milzie. He is the Huns, aka the fan favorite. And ooh, no mill. So you know that might reflect poorly on his grade. Oh, looks like he heard me. Basically, it's like real time. Built the mill there, but he did miss it right away. So next up, we do have Ahanel in blue, and he is the Teutons. He's got a pretty good base setup right here. Next up, we do have Boutelle in gray, last game's winner, and he is playing as the Slavs. And last but not least, we have nggillies in orange, and he is playing as the Spanish. And you can see that orange and purple have a pretty close starting location next to each other, pretty big gap. The relics, we will go over their locations. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the 5th one is right here. 1, 2, 3. All right, and let's just kind of look around here. Nothing too spectacular happening in the early game. Kind of some expansion going on. Luckily, we had 2 gold patches right next to each other. There is an early tower being built. Obviously, had no idea that was happening. Trying to steal that. Why didn't he go back here with all this wood? So I'm not sure, but they wanted to put on some early pressure. Watch this skirmish here. And you will notice that there are some ships being made between the 2 purple and yellow. Alright, looks like that is being pinned. We have a lot of gold being mined out here by yellow. Let's kind of look over everyone's civs. Yep, we got a lot of farms being built. A lot of wood cutting. Okay. So not a lot of action to start here. We do have a tower next to that. And we do have this tower being destroyed by purple. Relics not being much going on here. Yellow is building up these fisheries. And a lot of skirmishing going over this specific woods. You know, very valuable. Alright, moving to the back. We do have some boats being built. There was no trading going on. There was some controversy during the middle of the game, but no trading was being done between purple and yellow. So it kind of got caught off guard there. Didn't expect all these ships to come out of nowhere, and we'll kind of keep looking around the map as we go. Well, gray is definitely trying to shore up that relic. This one is unguarded. This one is unguarded. This one should be a green one. Then having some fire ships against the standard galley is definitely very helpful and very effective. But this was burning through my wood pretty rapidly, which did hurt me a lot going forward. We have Grace getting these relics. He's got 2 in his possession already. And we have Orange getting this one. Alright, some ship battles going on down here. 2 towers destroying this lumber camp. And we do see Gray has 2 relics so far. This relic is still sitting here. All right, let's check on Milzie here, the fan favorite. Maybe could use a little bit more farms, but he's doing pretty good. We do have a forward attack here by purple going after these. I am being destroyed at the water at the same time, so that is not a good combo. We have some monks that, you know, that's spice right there. Monks stealing a ram from someone else. That's the definition of spice if I've ever seen one. A lot of missionaries. Those are a special unit from the Spanish. Basically monks on horses. Got some gold being mined out here. We got blue moving in the bottom left-hand corner. And green is expanding out over around his town. So as you can see, no trade happening. No trade once again. No trade. No trade. Okay, this was the only trade that was trying to be done, but as you can see, I stopped that right away. I didn't want to trade with that enemy. All right, yellow is moving into the middle of the map here. Orange is moving to the back corner. And is he going to steal it from Milzie? Wow. Just like that. Suck dry. This is another spicy moment right there. Stealing a building. That's the definition of spice. I mean, look at all these monks. That's a lot of gold being short up in monks. That's pretty interesting. Interesting tactic. Pretty revolutionary. Alright, and we do have a green villager that made it across the map. Looks like they're going to do some trading. Let's see how far away they are when they get there. But there is some skirmishes going on in this corner. Some ships being built. Now let's check on blue here. What's his military? He's got 4 rams, a few champions. Gray's got a pretty sizable army of champions himself, and along with some siege units. Looks like he's helping out with the farms there. And then this is the kind of the forward base that I had in purple here. But lots of ships in the corner. As you can see, yellow does like building a navy. Looks like he's been conveniently next to a water area every time, so that's helping him out a lot. And let's keep watching here. We do have some trade, so let's see how far. 3 gold. That's pretty good. They do have a town center in the middle of it. Not the most effective, but could cause some bumping in the future. I was trying to find some gold. You'll see that this is the pretty big naval battle that happens between purple and yellow here, kind of easily destroying lots of my units. Yeah, not much that could have been done there. Just kind of have to wait. One thing the Byzantines have that I did not realize is they have a unique ability that gives them +1 range to fire ships, but I didn't think that'd be really helpful. Maybe I should have researched it. We do have a little skirmish going on between blue and green here in the bottom left-hand corner. Destroys 1 tower and retreats. Okay. That was a pretty scary villager. So I understand that. I did build a defensive castle here to hopefully kind of push these ships back. And here's a pretty major battle. We'll slow this down. And that's a pretty sizable army. What does blue have? He's got a few rams. You know, maybe some more production. These bombard towers are pretty good, but maybe if he had some horsemen to go around in the back here, even though there are some pikemen guarding it. But yeah, that's a pretty tough. That's a lot of champions early game. And not a lot of production here to stop it. Yeah, pretty textbook attack here from Gray. I will give him props on that for being aggressive early game. Well, I guess not really early game, but it is early game for this group here. And not much to stop him. Okay. We do have a castle over here. I'll speed things back up. And yellow is continuing that. Another castle being built to defend the woodcutters. Being pretty squeezed in the corner here for purple. And that was upsetting to me. I do hear a lot of Huns being built in the bottom corner here. Maybe could have used these to push out into yellow. Let's look at his troops. He's got a lot of outward buildings here. So he's going to give a heads up when he sees it. Alright, there's some farms in the way. It looks like gray is just hunting down blue mercilessly and destroying pretty much everything in sight. So at this point, it's pretty it's gonna be hard to come back from that if for blue. I just keep thinking like there's fighting going on with all those switches, so I keep looking at it. All right, maybe a little bit more aggression out of green. Why don't we look at everyone's resources really quick? I'll slow it down to real game. Start at the top, FR Christmas. You can see not a ton of resources, a lot of food and wood. Let's look at Gray's base. He's got a little backwards corner. He's got a pretty sizable army, and he is really just building up reserves. Almost at max population, so he's looking pretty good. Milzie, all right, he's got pretty good resources as well. Here's his base, and he's got some towers, and he's trading with orange, so that's a pretty good boost to gold. Looking like he's all right. Gillies is doing pretty good. Maybe can build a little bit more population there. Get these farmers to work. You know, don't have them just watching the trade cogs. And then Iceberg, he has a ton of, wow, he's a ton of wood. Maybe focus that on something else. Maybe focus on food. You don't need that much food. And then here is Blue. He has one town center left with a handful of villagers. It looks like he's kind of running low on resources. So, all right, looks like we have some decoy monasteries. I'm pretty sure the relic went into this one. But we'll speed this thing back up. Oh, fortified walls, like that a lot. All right, another building was converted by orange. Maybe could have upgraded the archers there. But, you know, good effort on trying to destroy that. And I do have some purple villagers looking, just kind of exploring, looking for gold. I mean, that was the main thing I was looking for, is I had like no gold left. So I was just trying to find some. Okay, we do have some gray wood choppers up here. Oh, and green destroying the last place blue. That's pretty ruthless. I suppose he did try and steal that from him. You know, I guess I can't blame him for that. I did end up building one house up here. Looks like gold is trying, or gray is trying to steal that gold. Pretty smart. Looks like he did clear out blue without much trouble. Maybe finish off that last two villagers. That would have been good. I mean, here we have a pretty good offensive being done by gray. That is a lot of rams, and that's a lot of monks. But yeah, monks against champions. Not a great military move. But is it spicy? Most definitely. Alright, gray is moving forward. I mean, that's just a lot of siege units busting down those walls, destroying those towers. Not much can be done to stop this push. Okay, yeah, finish those off. Alright, gray is moving forward here into the main portion of orange's base. Okay, they're heading back. Yeah, mission basically complete. Alright, destroying that really quick. Yeah, get that out of there. And at this point, you can't see, I mean, I took a little bit of advantage of the situation, destroy some of the siege for orange. I know that eventually that gray will be a threat. So I kind of a hit and run with my caliphates, or cataphract, I apologize. Alright, that tower will destroy that eventually, and we do have a new refugee camp in the bottom corner. Alright, we have another attack in the bottom here by yellow against green. Maybe could have had a little better positioning for these rams, but you know, they tried their best. Okay. Okay, green. Green? Don't let him in. Okay. Alright. Very good. And we'll keep watching here. Speed this up a little bit. Basically, gray is just cleaning up these top portion. Something kind of embarrassing. There is gold sitting here no one knew about. And gray is in the trade. And I thought maybe I could try and steal a relic out of this place, but that was shut down pretty quick. I keep thinking something going on right there, but it's not. Yeah, pretty clear. And then we can go back here really quick. No trade happening. And we'll keep going back. Gray is pretty much mopping that. We have another attack at the bottom here. Yellow trying to push through. Looks like they got into a choke point right here. We did see orange resign there in the upper top of the screen. Not much left of his forces, so respectfully resigning. I respect that a lot, not to drag on the game. But let's look at his resources. He did have a substantial amount of food and wood, but I suppose he did make the right choice after this point. Not much you can do to come back from that. You can see in this corner I am asking Brett to be an ally, and I mean, I don't know who that's directed at. We have another wave of yellow coming into green here. And let's see if this attack is successful. We have had a few denies from green. I'm seeing a common, either green is defending a wall or trying to go through a wall, and it usually many attempts, so always very, very fun to watch. Looks like he only sent 3 knights. That's interesting tactics. But you know, another push that's going to be stopped by green ultimately. Great, I'm going to say great unit variety in games past. In games 1 and 2 he did have only his unique units. This one he does have some archers along with his unique units, so that's pretty good. These guys are very efficient at killing buildings if you can get them close enough. Here's kind of a push forward by me into gray here. I would say not my best push. Yeah. Probably should have had some swordsmen and not just purely expensive horses fighting these halberdiers, but you know, what can you do? I don't know why I did that one either. I think I clicked on that and I clicked on a person, so he decided to unpack and seal his fate. But yeah, definitely should have had some swordsmen, so that's not going to reflect poorly on my grade. Letting my guys just kill, yeah, disaster. Okay, speed things back up. I will say one thing about this game, there's a lot of like breaks in between things, so sorry if I feel a little bit clunky. We'll go back into blue here. He's still, you know, surviving. We do have purple seeing some siege units out of the way that we do try and clean up. At this point I do notice that there is a large amount of gold just sitting there. And yeah, these guys do not stand up very well against any halberdiers, so they get kind of shredded. Alright, we have another attack going into green, and you can see they do breach the walls again, destroying a few more buildings, but I mean, these eagle warriors can only do so much. Alright, we have a second wave coming in. We have some defensive trebuchets. I like that a lot. Destroying other trebuchets. You know, maybe a few more units could have helped fight these pikemen. But yeah, another good push by yellow and another good defense by green. It looks like they're going to stop this one. Oh, maybe not. Another wave of units coming in. Maybe we could have focused a little bit more and destroyed that treb so it doesn't kill this castle, but there is obviously a lot of units coming around, so it's kind of tough to keep everything straight. And it does hang on with 600 stone left. but the line, it holds. Let's see, how much stone does Milzie have? Maybe could have built a little bit more. Oh, he's rebuilding it with one guy. That's good. I hear some swords fighting. Okay. We have another little skirmish up here over this last gold. I am trying to just steal as much as I can before Tony gets it. But ultimately he does send like champions against my horses, so that's kind of game over. We have another wave of yellow troopers being formed over here. A lot of forward barracks. Let's speed things up a little bit more. We'll do a quick peek at my base. Trying to build up my cavalry and my hordes. I do have a few gold that I wish I would have seen a lot earlier. But I didn't, so here we are. Alright, a lot of rebuilding. Alright, and purple is going to move out here, and it looks like yellow might be moving out soon, so I'll probably be slowing that back down. And at this point, it's really the powerhouses between purple, gray, and yellow. Green is hanging on in there, but looks like he is under a lot of attacks. We will slow this down. I know there's going to be two battles happening at once, so I'm going to try and go between them both at the same time. We do have a little skirmish between villagers and a trebuchet. Obviously more exciting, we have the rams pushing through the walls. I'm going to slow this down to real time here, just kind of give you the main forces of this. And then we do have purple attacking some gray soldiers at the top here as well. I mean, that's just a lot of, what are these guys called? A lot of Tarkans being brought in. And you are going to notice that there's just going to be a stream of pikemen going into Gray's or into Green's base, so something to keep an eye on. Here, I mean, that's pretty deadly for my team composition, and these guys are very heavily armored, so definitely could have maybe had some of my own spearmen or halberdiers to stop them, but that was probably a bad technical or military decision that will reflect poorly on my grade at the end. But we can kind of see the two battles. We'll speed them up a little bit. And here's the waves of troops going into green. And that'll kind of be the theme of that. Here I have 3 trebuchets, but I would say they were not managed very well. So that kind of was a major, like this guy's just sitting over there. One guy's going to come and kill him. Lots more skirms and pikemen coming through, and you can kind of just see on the mini map they're all coming. They're all going to be rushing in, going to be kind of overwhelming green here. They don't have quite the amount of production value that yellow has. Up here we are trying to destroy another castle with the horses. More siege would have been stellar and a lot more effective here. And then we just have the skirm army with the pikemen front line moving in. I don't think they're slowing down, as you can see. Oh, we have a monk, the most expensive unit of all of these. Will they stab us to death with spears? Time will tell. So you can kind of see here, this attack was semi-successful. I don't have much resources left with gold, so that was probably a loss on mine. Not a great fight to take. We'll see if yellow gets away with this. No, he does not. More rams coming in, and that's just kind of... Maybe these guys could have been defending rams against rams. I mean, that can be successful. But there's just a lot of yellow troops going through. And they're not slowing down if you look on the mini-map. Alright, we'll kind of speed things up here. A lot of trash units fighting other trash units. And we do have a little bit of a scouting party by Gray at the top here. And, you know, they're just kind of focusing on clearing out the last of these units. We have 2 rams not fighting forward. They're probably going to kill that. But you'll see on the mini-map, they're not slowing down. They're coming. They're coming. Yellow did pick up that relic and deposit it into that monastery. Looks like maybe he could have been maybe focusing these castles a little bit better, but I mean they are all skirmishers, so we have that going. All right, we do have an attack moving forward by Gray, and this is kind of one of the second battle between Gray and Purple. And we do have a traitor in the midst. Then Yellow's just clearing out the last of this base. And then here's a little bit of a skirmish between Gray and Purple. Nothing too exciting. A lot of forward bases by me, kind of like an early detection system. That's kind of my mindset. I'm trying to get as much gold as I can. And then Green is trying to have a refugee camp. But he is slowed down by my defenders. Alright, we'll speed things back up. I mean, killing monks just like for no reason, that's just really tough. And kind of at this point, what are these horses doing? They're just running around. Alright. That was probably the only, I mean, that, to be honest, that was like the really only real like attack. One of the few real attacks on me, but you know, I just didn't have that much gold. I had those boats attacking me, and I had those monks converting my buildings, but that was about it. Alright, we'll do a quick overview of everyone's base. The last three is purple. This is my base, is kind of spread out pretty wide from the corner to all the way down to here. We have yellow here, pretty cramped inside his walls. He's got a little bit of a navy, and he's got a lot of production units around his base. Green, we have a small little refugee camp in the corner here. And then, sorry, I haven't talked about you, Blue, in a while, but he is rebuilding. He's got some Teutonic Knights, elite Teutonic Knights, and he's trying to get some woods, but Gray is going to see that at this moment. And then here is Gray. He's got a lot of siege left. He's got a lot of troopers left, so he's looking pretty good. Let's look at Gray's. Gray's got a lot of resources. Running low on wood, but he's got a lot of gold and he's got a lot of food. All right, we'll speed that back up. Let's look at Iceberg's resources. He's doing pretty good as well. Not as hurting on wood, but and you might see in the comments here that there isn't a grand alliance being filled. That is somewhat controversial, but you know, with the leader being Gray and Score, I always thought the Teutonic Knights were the most brutal death animation, especially with like the bright red blood. Maybe could have moved those ships a little bit farther away, but those cannon galleons will be a thorn in Gray's side. Okay, you can see that yellow is rebuilding and going into the main gates of Gray. At the same time, we do have another push being done on the right-hand side by purple. So kind of some bad timing for Gray. It's really convenient for probably the other squads that they attacked at the same time with no communication skills. We do have purple busting through here from that previously opened wall from earlier. And now they're just kind of clearing out the main portions of Gray. And Gray had a great game. He did a good job, but he maybe put a little bit too big of a target on his back, being such a high point leader. And but he had very good military tactics and unit variety throughout the game, so give him mad props for that. I would say yellow did not have great variety, but he had a lot of trash units, so you know, can't argue with that either. Both tactics that are valid. A lot of siege left, and at this point you will notice that purple and yellow are fighting each other because they are not teaming. So I know there was some controversy between that, but purple is going to clear out this castle, and at this point I do resign because I do know that although I do have a lot of stuff left, I'm probably not going to win, and yellow most likely will. So yellow's just kind of clear this out. You will notice that blue resigned as well. Looks like he has a bombard ship still fighting, trying to kill this castle. But, you know, in the respect of everyone's time, he did resign. They probably wasn't going to make it back. And we do have some villagers trying to escape. We do also have a little bit of a skirmish on the bottom here by green, trying to break into yellow's walls. Probably the first attack against yellow this game, which is probably why he was able to do so well. Just the trash units coming out. Gray did have 4 relics. That is a ton. And we will see that he actually has no wood. So he isn't able to rebuild. He does build a castle, you know, that only costs 650 stone, but ultimately the lack of wood is what's going to prevent him from rebuilding anything. These guys are going rampant. There isn't much of yellow to defend them. They do have a few skirmishers fighting skirmishers. It's always a fun battle to watch. And this is really kind of the last stronghold that gray has, other than at this top corner, but that is being slowly worked on to be eliminated. We have some Eagle Warriors coming in, fighting these units, these skirmishers. And, you know, green could be doing, respectfully, green is not trying to extend the game super long. I mean, all he has left in this is this corner. And really, it's kind of up to yellow to, you know, he probably should have a villager in here taking these relics a little bit sooner. Alright, so we will speed things up. Yellow does clear out the last of that fight, so green does resign respectfully. And at this point, it's just a matter of time till yellow just kind of clears out the remainder of gray with his army of skirmishers. So they are trying to get a little bit more wood to start building a town center or some units, some buildings. They are able to deposit it at this lumber camp, but you know, only with 113, that's not quite enough to bring everything back. I mean, why not build the monastery right next to the relics? I'm not sure. At this point, as you can see, the game is pretty much over. And I'm actually going to go over the grades. Ultimately, gray does resign. But let's go over the grades. Okay. So, I'm just going to go over everyone's grades. We'll go from Nate. This is orange. It's not red, it's orange. Nate G. He was the, if you recall, he was the Spanish, the first player out. I mean, A for Spice. I mean, he was converting buildings. He had a ton of monks. Probably military. I'm going to go C-. Maybe he could have had a little bit more variety and had some troops to defend it. I will give him a solid B for economy, which gives him an average of a B-. So good job. We're going to give blue economy. I don't really remember anything bad or good about his economy, so I'm going to give him a B. I'm going to give Alex a C in military because when he was attacked by gray, he did not have that much to defend, and that was ultimately his downfall. And then lastly for Spice, attack knights are pretty cool, so I'm going to give him a C+, giving him an average of B-. Oh, still in white. B-. All right, and that is in black. Okay, Milzie. You know, for Milzie, the fan favorite, he got an A. He got an A in military because he had a wide variety. And we can give him an F in economy because he did not build the mill right away. So, you know, I don't make the rules. I just follow them. And then for Spice, I'm going to give him... what did Milzie do? Just trying to think over his game plan. He had a lot of Huns. That was pretty cool. I haven't seen the Huns in a while. No houses. So I'm going to give him... We'll give him a C. Giving him an overall... a C. All right, I'm going to give myself an F for Spice. I did nothing exciting. I'm going to give myself an F for military because I didn't do very well, and then an F in economy. So I'm giving myself an F because I did very bad, and I feel bad about it. All right, last but not least, we'll have Tony here. He had a great economy. Actually, I'm going to give him a B+ because he had no wood at the end, and that was ultimately his loss. He had a great military mind. He was kind of going in. He had a lot of variety, so he had 4 relics. So I'm going to give him a B for spice. So that's a pretty good overall grade for Tony. Giving him an average of a B+. And last but not least, we'll give Iceberg the winner. Spice F. He didn't do anything exciting. We'll go D. He had a lot of units. That was kind of fun. I'm going to give him an A because he did win militarily, and he had the strategic buildings and queues set up to go into green. So I'm going to give him A on that. And I'm going to give him a B on economy because I don't remember anything being special. So I'm going to give him a B. So overall, Tony had the highest grade. He ultimately did not win, but that is your grades. And then last but not least, we'll go back to the achievements. And we'll go to achievements really quick. Am I sure? I am sure. So Tony does get the Pabst Blue Ribbon seal of approval, but Iceberg does get the crown for the victory. So we'll go back to military. Most units lost, definitely due to the large number of just trash units being sent in to die. With the most killed by Gray, obviously killing 2 people. And then being attacked by multiple teams as well. So that kind of makes sense for buildings raised. And then a lot of buildings lost. This was surprising for me. I remember seeing a lot of buildings for green or for orange, but I don't remember there being like that many where he'd have the most. And then 16, I mean, that's spicy right there. The definition of spice. And then largest army, 171. Pretty nothing to laugh at. All right, next up we have all of our resources collected. You can see that blue, orange, and purple were definitely hurting on gold, probably the most important resource, while Iceberg was just far ahead of everyone else in wood and food. Map exploration, I heard that Milzie was going to focus more on map exploration this game, so he got it up to 60%. I don't remember what it was last time, but that's probably higher than normal. Might want to push this time a little bit farther back. That is pretty early. Maybe build a little bit more villagers. And I want to see more research percentage out of orange. I think that will really help him in the long run. But overall, research count by blue, pretty high. Nothing crazy this time in terms of castles. No 12 castles out of blue. Most we saw was 4. Then obviously with the 4 relics, he had 13,000 in that. Let's look at trading gold. I don't remember seeing that. Trading profit, nothing crazy. So, I mean, that just kind of shows that there wasn't a ton of money to be made out of trading this game. So, they were pretty close to each other. And then here is the timeline. We can kind of see the major battles and how they were done. So, hopefully you guys liked everything. If you have any suggestions for me or recommendations, please don't hesitate to ask, and hopefully we'll have another game out for you guys soon. Thanks, and goodbye.